Chris, what is your topic?
My topic is about Batman and Superman.
Woo!
Me and Bryson were talking about this. I just watched.
I'm so excited for this.
I just watched the movie Batman Dark Knight Returns, which is an animated cartoon movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 2 parts. I think they're both about an hour and a half.
Yes.
It's a pretty long, dual series thing. But it was awesome. So the story is the Batman is old. He gets roped back into being Batman after having given it up for, I think, 10 years. And then it comes to a point where the government's not happy with what he's doing. They send Superman in to stop him and to make him stop being Batman. And so the new Batman vs. Superman movie, I've heard, is going to borrow, at least most likely, some of what they used in The Dark Knight Returns. And just looking at the costume and stuff, it does borrow quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And because they already released that the one of the quotes is one of the things that he says in Dark Knight Returns to Superman, which is you'll remember I was the one man who beat you or something like that. Anyway, so when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I want to watch this movie, see what they're gonna borrow from it, and it was awesome. But and I've heard. I'm not a comic book reader, so I don't know all the canon behind everyone's powers, their top speeds, their top power punches, and all this stuff. Oh, this guy can do 2,000 tons, and Spider-Man can do this. I don't know, and so I just watch the cartoons occasionally. Yeah. But so there's the argument of whether or not Superman or Batman would win in a fight.
Superman.
So Bryson was great. So I posted this quote. I posted this quote on Facebook from the animated show where it was he was talking about all your personal moments and when you're by yourself, you're gonna remember I'm the one who beat you. And so because there's a part in the film when he does, and here's where it gets kind of foggy because technically, I mean Bryson brought up the point that he doesn't consider it a fight because it wasn't both of them at the top of their game. Just in an arena type, or it wasn't both on the same terms, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It was mainly Superman sent to stop Batman, and Batman's no. And so Superman had just been hit with a nuclear bomb. I don't know what that does to Superman, but it made him shrivel up for a little bit, and then he looked normal. And so he wasn't at his full powers. I don't know what his full powers are. Mm-hmm. But I'm well, Batman was old and slow. And he could barely be a mutant leader guy. And I don't know anything about mutants either. That was a weird thing in the movie. I was oh, these are bad guys apparently. I never knew that there were mutants. But it was still awesome. So the question is, and I think that given the time, and they kind of mentioned that in the movie, that Batman could beat Superman or would beat Superman. So what are your guys' thoughts? Well, we'll do you two first, because me and Bryson have already talked this out. Yeah. We'll rehash our points.
I think that's fair.
So what do you think? Who would win or who? Yeah.
Would you like to go first?
Well, one belief that I have when it comes to any sort of fight is strength doesn't always win. It's always skill and tactic. Mm-hmm. The brains behind the brawn. So despite the fact of Superman being invincible, you never know what Batman could come up with concerning kryptonite. It could be he can make it into some sort of kryptonite type gas or an injection or just
wow, you came up with that pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I'm his assistant, okay?
Oh.
We talked about this.
Oracle. Yeah, Oracle.
Oracle, I like that one. But I think if given, given the opportunity, Batman could beat Superman.
Okay.
Just because, he could have the brains behind it. He can make stuff that could be used. I mean, Superman had a hard enough time against Lex Luthor. They were always getting after one another. Here's Batman, who is a crime fighter. You never know what he can come up with. But that's just my thoughts. I love Superman, but...
Yeah.
Alright, here are my thoughts.
Okay.
Batman would lose.
Batman would
Here's
lose
why.
Every time?
Yeah. Here's the only way Batman could win is if he snuck up to Superman when he's sleeping and then inject him with kryptonite or something. Okay, because here's the thing. If Superman really wanted to kill Batman he could be miles away and shoot him with a laser or something, like, or go like super fast and just like smash his brain up against a mountain and like keep going through the mountain, like
just drop the mountain on him.
Yeah, like if Superman really wanted, he could easily kill Batman, really easily. And like in the movie, I watched the movie.
But we're not talking about a murder spree. We're talking about a fight.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're just trying to win the fight. They're not trying to kill each other.
And
Okay.
also, don't forget, Superman did take that vow to never actually kill.
Yeah.
And Batman kind of did.
Kind
That's part of his
I haven't seen him
psychosis.
kill anyone specifically.
In the original, he does kill. That's why he's the Dark
Yeah.
Knight, because he actually does kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome.
So okay, in a fight. So okay, here's the thing. Again, in a fight, Superman would win.
But you're saying every time.
Here's the thing.
Regardless of the scenario.
If they're like if
Like,
Batman,
obviously, like if Superman's sleeping or something.
here's the thing.
Does Superman sleep?
If Batman
Okay.
had time to plan out,
Uh-huh.
like, all right, well, I'm going to be fighting Superman on this day. All right, I have time to prepare. And then, yeah, Batman, he is a smarter, like, tacticianer and everything. And so he would be able to, like, okay, I need, like, these people and this person to, like, do a distraction because he has super hearing. So if we do something...
Mhm.
And so if that happened, then then he would have a chance. But like if they're like, all right, Batman and Superman, right now you guys are just gonna fight.
Yeah.
Just
Well, yeah.
for the heck of it.
Superman wins every time.
Superman
yeah.
would win
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
because like of his powers
Right.
and of his abilities.
But in my opinion, you're taking away one of Batman's powers by doing that. Because one of Batman's powers is thinking things out and planning strategies.
So like what? So but I'm answering your question.
Right. You're asking who
Like,
would win in a fight.
Yeah, like well,
On one day, just randomly, they're
Superman.
just together and they're like, fight.
like
See who does.
yeah.
Yeah. Superman wins every time.
So like if Batman had had a time to actually think and
Mhm.
come up with a plan of how to get Superman trapped and everything, then yeah, then that's how he would win. If it was just like a normal day, like it's like, hey, their mom's called up, like, hey, you guys are gonna fight each other right now. Yeah, because Batman's mom is still alive for some reason, and then Superman's mom is still
I
alive
thought
for some
that was
reason.
like I thought you were bashing Batman because his mom is dead.
So like I would like to think Batman would win, but come on, Superman would win in a fight between Batman and Superman.
Uh-huh.
He would win.
Right.
So yeah, that's my thinking.
Okay, so first I need to ask: Batman's mom's still alive?
No, she's not alive.
Okay.
No, I was thinking like if they're like young, like Superboy and then
I see what
Bat
you're
Boy.
saying.
Oh, okay.
They're like,
When they're
hey, and they're for some reason they're both on Earth, like the Kryptonite mom, and anyway they're on Earth, like, hey, do you want let's just have our kids fight for some reason today? Like, all right.
Both of their parents named Martha.
Yeah, exactly.
My kid's gonna fight your kid. My kid's not Batman yet.
It's like, oh, but this is good training. It'll be good for him.
We're not dead. He has no reason to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so according to when I think Batman versus Superman, I'm thinking it is a fight between Batman and Superman where both have as much time to prepare as they need. But it is only Batman and it is only Superman, which is why part of the reason why the Dark Knight gets thrown out is because he also had Green Arrow there, even though he only had one arm. You know, so
I thought that was him when I saw him.
Yeah,
Like,
it
is
was
that
Green
it?
Arrow.
Okay, go on.
yeah, so. Even with as much time and preparation as he would ever need, I still think Superman would win every time because Superman, and even depending on what version of Superman you're talking about, he usually can tell if kryptonite is close enough, or at least he would know going into a fight that, be wary of that.
Not like it's covered by leather and then all of a sudden it's uncovered, like, whoa,
Yeah,
I didn't
all of a sudden
know!
it affects him.
Ah!
That's the thing, like, I don't know anything about, like, the distance that it has to be from Superman before it starts affecting him.
It would have to be in a lead
Seems
casing,
like it has
though.
to be, like, pretty close.
Did you know that there was a comic that actually had pink kryptonite, and if it was close to Superman, it would turn him gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Man, they ran out of ideas,
They
huh?
did.
They have every
awesome.
color of kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's funny.
And again, it just boils all the way down to if Superman took the fight seriously enough where he thought he had to kill Batman, or at least, like, he was willing to do whatever it took to stop him, literally, I think that Superman could be completely unrestrained, because the very few times that he goes completely unrestrained, generally they turn into a giant bro fight where it's just like dudes taking punches, you know, like with Doomsday and stuff.
Yeah.
But like there's actually one really cool moment where he takes on, where Wonder Woman approaches Superman in the Fortress of Solitude and wants to take him on because she's afraid he's going insane. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And so then he just goes super fast in a circle around her, zapping her with lasers the whole time, and she can't do anything about it because she doesn't have super speed. So she ended up just falling just because of that. So super speed, super strength, eye lasers, that three combination alone, Superman wins 10 out of 10, in my opinion. But the cool thing about Batman is that he has a contingency plan for every member of the JLA. So he knows, all right, and like this is already set up pretty much. I've seen several comics where he mentions that he has a contingency plan for everybody.
It's
Justice League Doom.
Yeah,
is fantastic.
Doom, like because like that.
Not only does
that
he have
whole
them,
thing is
but
about
they
his
work.
contingency plan for everyone.
Yeah, and
Really?
It's cool. It is really good.
They work really
Anyways.
well, and it's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like I think a lot of people don't really think about Superman like that he's not that smart, but also that like he has weaknesses other than like his not being that smart, which is that like he's very protective of humans and stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's a part in Justice League Doom where someone uses someone who looks like a random civilian that's about to jump off a building.
Doesn't
So Superman goes up, he tries to stop the guy from jumping off, and the guy pulls out a gun and shoots him with a kryptonite bullet. And so they like disable Superman because how do you get a kryptonite bullet out? Oh, because it heals over also. And so you have to have a kryptonite scalpel to get out the kryptonite bullet.
Oh, that's an interesting.
So like pretty much would like permanently render him weak. And so it was pretty interesting to see that. But at the same time, like Batman didn't do that. Though, and Batman wouldn't have been able to do that because Superman would have just known like, hey, Batman's going to try and like do something, you know? But if Batman uses a random civilian, Superman doesn't know.
That's true.
And so that's the thing. I think that there are several cases where Batman could beat Superman, even if Superman had time to prepare. Just because it was also funny. There's a Justice League movie where something's coming towards Earth and it's going to destroy Earth. And so Superman's idea is to move the Earth out of the way. And Batman just says, even if I had 2 weeks, I couldn't tell you all the reasons why that's a bad idea. And so it was just great. Like, that's the thing. I like Superman. I think he's like a nice hero, but at the same time, I also don't like a lot of. I don't like really overpowered heroes or like even a super overpowered villain. It's like, this isn't interesting. There's no worry. There's no suspense. It's like, oh, how long till he wins, basically.
Well, yeah, the evolution of Superman's powers is really fascinating because, like, when he first started out, he couldn't fly.
Oh, really?
He also didn't have a weakness to kryptonite.
Yeah.
That's why they say, leap a building in a single bound.
Right.
That was how he got around.
Oh, he just
because he couldn't fly.
He could. He had super strength and vulnerability and like eye lasers. I believe were all three of his initial powers. Then kryptonite actually came about because of radio plays. So when they started doing radio plays, that's also when they gave him flight. Because it was hard to portray jumping really high audibly, but flight, you just do the whoosh noise. Okay. And so they gave him flight instead,
instead of like boing, boing?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then I guess there's this weird thing where like radio plays were supposed to take place in real time. So even though they only happen once a week's time is supposed to take place during the...
Oh, that's cool.
So if they ever did... Yeah. But what would happen is they would leave on cliffhangers. And so they had to write a way to incapacitate Superman for a week. So they gave him kryptonite, and that would knock him out for a week. And so that's where that even came from.
Okay.
And then just after that, it just became, they put Superman in a situation he couldn't get out of, gave him a new power to get out of it. And eventually in I think it was about the 80s, they finally were like, okay, we've given him rainbow hands. We might need to start toning this down a bit. He literally had the power to do rainbow hands, and he would create a copy of himself.
Oh my god.
That is not, I'm not joking, that is an actual thing that happened.
That is crazy.
What other powers can we give him?
But yeah, like now, Superman, like you can't kill Superman.
Yeah, he's invincible. But
like even with Doomsday, he didn't kill him, he just like knocked him out, and he was unconscious for a while.
A year.
So he and I were talking about like whether or not because really the only recorded or like, it's not even canon technically. No. But the only fight that's ever happened between Batman and Superman where Batman beats Superman is The Dark Knight Returns. And he's Bryson says he doesn't think it counts. I think that it does. I do. Okay, so they weren't both at their prime, but also they were both weak. So I still consider it like even.
From what I've seen of it, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen like just the segments you told me to see. The only reason why Superman didn't win is because he didn't want to kill Batman, but Batman's like, no, I can't do it. I can't stop. It's like I don't, and then because and then Superman's like, I don't want to kill you. Please just stop. Throughout the whole fight, he says that like, stop doing this.
But at the same time, like Superman could have done other things had he wanted to just like he could have tried to get Batman in a headlock or something. You know what I mean? Like he could have just thrown him in the air. Or something.
Yeah, or just like break his leg.
There's so many things that it's like, well, he could have done that, but at the same time, like Batman also had on a super suit, essentially, and so like he could actually punch Superman and not die when Superman punches him.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen or read it or anything like that, so like you'll have to remind me. But I remember it kind of going. I can't remember how the fight actually ends, other than the kryptonite dust cloud. But didn't Batman say he gave up, and then like Superman reached his hand out, and then he's like, "Haha! Eye laser or electric hands to the face."
Essentially, Superman had thought that he won.
Okay.
Sort of. Like he just punched Batman into a wall, and he took Batman's helmet off, so it was like, oh well, now you can just punch your face apart.
Yeah.
And so he's walking up to him, and that's when Green Arrow. Because Batman had it all timed out, basically. He's like, well, this is how long it's going to take Green Arrow to get from there to there with the arrow. And so, and also during the fight, like, Superman is looking for Batman, and Batman has, his rockets go off because they detect X-ray vision, which is, like, another reason where I'm like, Superman did know what was going to happen. Like, he didn't know exactly where Batman was, but at the same time, it's Superman. He's, like, scanning with X-ray vision because he has that for some reason also. And so yeah, like, He was flying around, and of course he can like take rockets like they're nothing. That's why I'm like, even though technically he was weakened, I don't know how he was weakened because it looked exactly like normal Superman, because nothing hurt him.
Maybe his mana pool was low or something.
Yeah, I don't remember if he bled at some point. He might have actually like got a nosebleed after one of the punches or something. After like a wrecking ball smashed his face, maybe.
Are you talking about Superman?
Yeah.
No, it was
Superman
when.
Ever bleed?
Yeah, he started bleeding because Batman was shooting his sound gun at him.
That's what it was.
And his nose started bleeding. Like, nah, but then he.
Yeah, and then he like swatched it away.
Yeah.
So, but also here's the thing.
Thing.
In my opinion, one of Batman's powers is like using other people. So that's why
he's very manipulative.
If he would have used someone with superpowers, I would give it to you. Like that doesn't count. But it's like a disabled Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like he could have just as easily used like a turret or something. And like it was just a reason to throw Green Arrow into the story. So I don't really count like Green Arrow as like ruining like a 2 versus 1 Superman thing. I'm like, it's a one-armed old Green Arrow. I don't think that really counts as a 2 versus 1. Like, and he was also like shot in the leg right before he shot the arrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it counts for those reasons. I think that even think that Batman was at a disadvantage still, having like not having been hit with a nuclear bomb. Like just being old, he'd been stabbed. You saw Joker stabbed him like 7 times.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that movie or like 2-part movie thing. It is extremely
That's at the
dark
end of the first
and
one, right?
like intense. What?
Is that the end of the first movie?
No, that was in part 2.
In part 2, okay.
Have you ever? I mean, I don't want to distract too much, but this was also kind of like a versus Superman story. Have you ever heard of the video game Injustice?
Yes, that's a really
Did you
good
play
one.
that?
No, I wanted.
We were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
How, yeah, I liked that. But here's the thing, though. Like, I think they're like kind of at odds. Like, I think that Batman kind of knows a one-on-one fight he would never win against Superman. But at the same time, like, Superman can never find him if he doesn't want to be found.
Yeah, and that's what Injustice is about.
Which, points that out.
So there's an alternate universe where Superman... Oh my gosh, I love this setup. Talk about dark. So what happens is the Joker gets some of Scarecrow's fear serum and injects it into Superman and tricks him into thinking that Lois Lane is Doomsday. So Superman goes and just starts wailing on Lois Lane, basically. and he takes her up into outer space, and then Batman finally, like, at the last second, he's like, use your X-ray vision, look. And you see she has a heartbeat, but then there's also a tiny heartbeat inside of her, and then they stop, and the Joker had rigged her with a detonator so that when her heartbeat stopped, it set off a nuclear bomb in Metropolis. So Superman directly murdered his wife and unborn child and destroyed Metropolis in the same time. And when he goes,
really
he goes and confronts the Joker and straight up just kills him.
Yeah.
Because the Joker's
That-
like, yeah, that's
If I was Superman, I would lose it.
well, like even like Joker was just like you can't twist the knife harder than he was. Like as Superman was
Yeah.
choking him, he's like, "Do you think that you'll ever find love again?"
Yeah.
Like that's what he said.
That's what I love about the Joker, though. He's such like the worst person that you could possibly think of.
So of course Superman rips out his entrails. They don't show that, but
Yeah,
that's
Superman
exactly
kills
what he
him.
does.
Even in the Dark Knight, Joker ends up dying, or the Dark Knight Returns. Joker ends up dying, but it's like even on like when he's dying, yeah, he's still like pestering Batman.
Yeah.
Like, he's still like really like he's
Just
really
like driving,
pushing,
the
and
knife
just-
in his back. And
yeah,
just,
it's Joker. He's messed up. Go on.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I
So-
love the Injustice story just because it does. I think it does. What if Superman? If everybody had to fight Superman, I think it did a really good job of creating this alternate reality where Superman's a villain, and like even you have things like where Hal Jordan becomes a Yellow Lantern in order to work under Superman, and he's like teamed up with some of the villains, and like everybody's just so afraid of Superman that they follow
basically
him.
like Superman beats everyone in submission, and if anyone like Green Arrow was like, this isn't right, and he just killed Green Arrow. And
See?
Yeah.
And then,
Superman,
that's when Batman
like-
was like, I'm out.
So well, I'm guessing Bruce Wayne for a while.
Yeah. Well, then he's just like, to the Batcave. Forever.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't have enough kryptonite. But yeah, it was pretty intense. Because yeah, Superman just
camping.
like, he just turns into this powerhouse, and just like, he's like a mob boss.
Yeah, because
Pretty much like making people be safe.
he
was, like,
becomes
his
king
thing.
of the earth. Like he completely dominates the earth and creates this totalitarian society where there is no crime, but there's also no freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's banned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what banned.
Yeah, it's
And
banned.
then Batman figures out to get the superheroes from the other alternate universe into his universe to beat the Superman in his universe.
Yeah,
It's pretty intense.
That's cool. I do want to play.
But yeah,
that.
that's
we
the context
agreed
of why
that-
everybody's
We
fighting
agree
each
that
other.
like, the only one that can beat Superman is Superman. Or, in my opinion, that's the only reason why the new Superman was interesting, is because Zod is a Kryptonian also. Like,
Mhm.
those are the only fights to me there. Or, it's same thing with the Hulk. The only thing that's interesting to me is when he fights another Hulk.
Yeah,
Because otherwise it's how long until Hulk beats someone new. Hulk.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm actually curious to know, what does everybody think of the Man of Steel movie?
I personally loved it. It was exactly what I wanted from Superman movie.
Mhm.
Really cool action scenes, really, really beautifully done, and just I loved it. I thought it was really good.
I liked it.
It was exactly what I wanted.
I actually got a little bit bored with some of the fight scenes because nothing was like there was destruction, but I'm like, why? If a Superman punches another Superman, I'd imagine like it would hurt as much as a person hitting a person. Like they
Yeah.
never bleed, they never show any signs of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So does he have like regeneration or something? I don't understand. Like
I think he does have that, and I guess it also speaks to saying that his invulnerability far outweighs his super strength.
okay, that's true. I didn't think about that. But yeah, I was like, shouldn't a Superman be able to beat another Superman? Which I guess it's, yeah. I mean, you can break someone's neck, so if you can break his bones, maybe you can kill him.
What about you?
I personally think that it is one of the only Superman movies that I would be willing to watch multiple times.
Cool.
The other ones I just found to be boring and repetitive.
Mhm.
You know, Superman, Lex Luthor.
I
always
missed
right.
the cellophane S.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a moment where you would just throw it on, one of the sidekicks, and then we would continue on like nothing ever happened.
Other than thinking that the movie's like tone and theme was all over the place,
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
And a lot of people's criticisms, and this was something I wanted to say online, but we decided to save it for here, is like, one of the biggest criticisms is that he wrecks Metropolis in the process. But every time Superman fights somebody who's on par with him, he wrecks buildings in the process.
Yeah.
It's just in the
Right.
comics, you don't actually see them toppling on people, where the movie decided to show that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main difference.
Well, like, not everything is going to be some Dragon Ball Z. Let's go in the middle of the
Yeah.
desert to have this fight. You know what I mean?
Hey, hang on, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
here. Let's take this someplace else.
They literally do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly
the Android
Yeah,
Saga.
so-
He's like, whoa, we're destroying the city. Let's go a million miles to this place that is just like
The
vast
middle of
and
nowhere,
expansive.
Yeah.
And just
And
duke
no one
it out
lives
there.
there.
And they're like, okay, sure.
Like, all right. It's like, well, because they're like, well, all right, we're going to destroy the
And it was
planet
never
anyway,
like
so.
Superman was like, well, I'm going to use this building to smash you with.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't
No.
like destroying stuff on purpose. It
Yeah,
was just
but
like,
also-
the fight happens to be here.
Yeah, also to have a believable bad guy, you know, he's not going to just be like, whoa, okay,
Yeah,
I agree with you,
yeah.
let's go somewhere else.
Oh, Superman's running to the desert. I guess I'll just chase him there.
Yeah.
No, I'll draw him back here.
Have you guys seen the How It Should Have Ended of Godzilla?
Yeah.
It's
Not yet.
it's really funny because there's a part where like Godzilla's like getting back up. Like, have you guys seen Godzilla?
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's getting
The new
up.
one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But is it like that big of a spoiler?
No,
Okay.
Godzilla.
It's not going to
wins.
ruin anything.
Well, like Godzilla gets okay. Godzilla gets up, and then he like walks off, and everyone's like kind of like happy, and they're like, oh, okay. And then like Superman flies in and is like, really? You guys get mad when I destroy a city, but when Godzilla does it, you guys aren't mad at all. You know what? Screw you guys. And he just flies away. It's really funny.
That's
I love it.
Have you seen the How It Should Have Ended for Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, I saw that one. That's a good one. But by the end of it, he's in that cafe. Have you guys seen How It Should Have Ended videos? He's in the cafe with Batman and Superman. Spider-Man is with. He's like pointing a gun at Batman. He's like, bring Superman, like I know you can reverse time. I've seen you do it before. Bring back my dead girlfriend. Because he's like drunk. Superman's all Spider-Man. He's all drunk. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill Batman. Just bring him back, Superman. Just do it. Bring him back. And Superman's just like, really? Like if I want, I could stop you right now from Batman. And anyway, it's good. It's a good episode. It's a good.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just one of the things that like that people don't realize is one of Superman's weaknesses is like he will try and protect people. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's what you can use against Superman if you need to distract him.
So
or get your neck broken.
So
Yeah.
this
exactly.
this is good. We're split in the middle. So
There we go.
you two feel
Good topic.
Chris
Given
and Millie
the
feel like
opportunity.
Batman would win.
Yeah, we feel like it's a possibility.
It is possible.
The Batman could win in I think several scenarios.
Right.
Maybe just that one. Who knows?
I think in like a very rare case, like
1 in 100.
in reality, in a very very rare case, Batman would win. But overall, Superman would win 99.9%.
Yeah,
of the
but the
time.
question isn't if Superman wanted to, could he kill Batman? Yes,
Mhm.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
But that's not the question. Is like in
Who
a
could
fight.
win in
See,
a
like
fight?
when
It-
I think of a fight, I
say
think
fight
like
to
a
the
fight
death.
to the death.
Right, we're not
That's
talking
what I
about
think.
death
Yes, you didn't
'Cause, like,
specify.
Because I'm just like, all right, fight to death, Superman.
Yeah.
Or yeah, still like in this. I'm sorry, I'm kind of ranting. Never mind, I'm gonna stop now.
I think
Superman would
Regardless.
win every time
Yeah.
because he'd be like, all right, Batman, what up? Break your leg again. All right, see ya.
Would you like me
Yeah.
to laser beam you from this mountain?
Anyway, so that's it. Thank you. That was a good topic. got my water boiling.